We say we trust God. We say we believe. But then life puts us in a situation where we have to move without seeing the outcome, without having the full security we're used to. And suddenly that belief is tested. That's what it means to walk by faith, not by sight. It means to move forward when nothing around you confirms the promise. It means saying yes before the safety net shows up. It means choosing alignment over logic. Most people want the whole plan mapped out before they take the first step. They want the finances guaranteed, the people in place, the outcome confirmed, the timeline precise. But God doesn't operate in guarantees. He moves in growth. He moves in obedience. And faith? Faith is your agreement with the unseen. It's the yes you give when nothing around you gives you a reason to say yes, except for what you feel deep in your spirit. When you walk by sight, you depend on evidence, on confirmation, on what your senses tell you. But the Spirit doesn't speak through sight. It speaks through knowing, through alignment, through that whisper that says move, even when the numbers don't add up. Even when the people around you don't understand. Even when you can't explain it yourself. To walk by faith is to hand over control. And that's uncomfortable. Because control gives us the illusion of safety. But God doesn't call you to comfort. He calls you to purpose. And purpose is rarely paved in comfort. It's paved in stretching, in obedience, in letting go of what you know for what you believe. Look at every major shift in your life. Did you have it all figured out before you moved? Or did you step, and then the support showed up? Think about it. The job, the relationship, the breakthrough. It didn't arrive because you had all the answers. It arrived because you moved, because you acted on faith. Faith is a currency. It's how you transact in the spiritual realm. And without it, you can't withdraw the promise. Sight is a receipt. It confirms what's already happened. But faith is the purchase. Faith is what you give up front to receive what hasn't manifested yet. Some of the most powerful moves in your life will come when you're unsure, uncomfortable, and unqualified. But if the call is real, the confirmation comes later. You don't need external proof when you have internal peace. Peace isn't the absence of fear. Peace is the presence of alignment. It's knowing you're in flow even when you're in free fall. This is where Buena Vista comes in. You removed the contingency, not because you were reckless, but because you were faithful. You aligned with the vision and let go of the safety net. That's walking by faith. You visualized it, you showed up in front of the property. You imagined keys in your hand. And then you said, God, I trust you enough to take this step, even if I don't have every piece in place. That's not weakness, that's spiritual strength. That's when God shows his hand the clearest, when your hands are off it, when your grip loosens and your spirit says, you lead, I'll follow. People on the outside won't understand. They'll question you, doubt you, try to talk you down into their level of comfort. But comfort has never built legacy, and fear has never fulfilled purpose. Walking by faith will isolate you. It will test your patience. It will ask you to give without seeing, to sow without knowing when the harvest comes. But when the fruit shows up, it won't just feed you. It'll feed others. It'll confirm that your obedience was never about just you. Sometimes God will make you wait, not because the promise isn't real, but because your faith isn't full yet. He wants to see if you'll move before the money, before the confirmation, before the safety. Because faith with evidence isn't faith, it's recognition. And he's not testing your logic, he's testing your belief. The more you walk by faith, the clearer your spirit becomes. The noise fades, the distractions fall off, and you start to trust your knowing more than your eyes. That's spiritual maturity. That's how people build things from nothing. Not because they had the most money, but because they had the most belief. This walk isn't for everybody, but if you're hearing this, it's probably for you. You've already been through too much to be walking by sight now. You've seen too much divine alignment to be questioning the process now. You didn't come this far to start second-guessing your spirit. You didn't survive all that pain, growth, and isolation just to stop short of the promise. You may not know exactly how it unfolds, but faith says move anyway. Faith says jump. Faith says give. Faith says trust. And every time you do, you invite the unseen to move in your favor. Buena Vista wasn't a gamble. It was a calling, a test. And you passed it the moment you acted, not the moment you got the keys, because that's what God honors: movement, obedience, trust. So whatever comes next, remember this. You walk by faith, not by sight. You move when your spirit says go, even if your eyes say wait. And when you live like that, you stop following miracles and start becoming one.